in the middle of the city. Many people want to live here. Huh? It was a very popular place before where workers used to live. And then in the 1990, they renovated, the neighborhood. And today, many people want to live in this area because we are in the center of Geneva. We are very close to the park. We are going to see now just in front of us. It is called Coppet, the park. And you have to imagine that Geneva is very green. We have a lot of parks and gardens like this one we have on the left-hand side. They were given, by families to the city of Geneva at the end of the 19th century or beginning of the 20th century. Here there is also a school in the park, a primary school, because the family who gave the park to the city said, okay, we give you the park, but please build a school for children. So that's why there is a primary school in the park. And summertime, it's always very different from winter, because in summer we can organize a lot of festivals, open air festivals for music. We also have cinema, open air cinema, and that is one of the parks where a festival of jazz is organized, end of June every year. On the left, after the lighthouse, we are going to see the lights. Yes, we are going to see on the left another school for children from 12 to 15 years old. 15 years old is when we finish normally, the obligatory school, and children in Geneva started school this week. They started on Monday. Some children in Switzerland, they started already last week, but Geneva is always the last week of August, and so that is another school you can see on the left. But we are arriving already at the international part of Geneva. If Geneva is known worldwide, it's not because it's a big city with millions of inhabitants, because Geneva is a very, very small city, with if we take the city, only 200,000 inhabitants. But Geneva is an international city with more than 300 international organizations and NGOs. And most important, we're going to see are the United Nations, but we have a lot of world headquarters in the city. The first we're going to see very soon on the right-hand side, a blue building, is the High Commissioner for Refugees, created in 1950s to give technical assistance to millions of refugees worldwide. As you know, we today have more refugees than ever in the world, and the help of this organization is really very, very important. So now on the right-hand side, you will see the High Commissioner for Refugees. You see it on the right. And soon we are going to cross a square, which is the heart of the international part of Geneva. You will see on the right at the United Nations. We have in Geneva the European headquarters for the United Nations. Okay. And just before, on the right hand side, you also are going to see a wood structure. This wood structure was the Opera of Geneva. This opera was built like 4 years ago for 3 years, because they were restoring, renovating the historical opera house we're going to see in the old town. So that's why the opera season took place in this wood structure you're going to see very soon. It was called the Nations Opera, and now this structure we moved to, I think, to China. I think Chinese people they decided to buy this structure. And another building we're going to see on the left hand side is a white block I will show you, is